welcome to the very 93rd hour of Adventurers Wanted Rebellion. Thank you very much.
No sleep till Deriland.
Applause for the feat of endurance alone. My name is Leo. I will be your game master this morning. This is a relaxed performance, which means we have a relaxed attitude to sound and movement from the audience for the benefit of people that would struggle to stay still or silent for an entire hour. The lights are going to stay exactly like this, and there should be no loud sound effects, although there will be some mood music as we go along. If we can help you in the room, please do catch the attention of Naomi over your right shoulder there, who is our stage manager. Otherwise, if it all gets a bit much, feel free to duck out the door you came in and ask one of the suite staff for readmittance when you're ready. Of course, this being the first hour of the day, we're also joined by our excellent BSL interpreter, Isla. Woo! Yes, who somehow still is here signing our improvised fantasy games, no matter how weird and time travel-y I make it. Exactly. So, what is this? What on earth's going on? This is a tabletop role-playing game, which means the four people on my left and right here play individual, unique characters in a fantasy setting. As the games master, I control the fantasy setting. So the enemies that are trying to kill them, the allies that they're trying to muster, and indeed the gods that they're about to commune with. And to try and keep things a little bit fair, we interact with one another using dice. The most common die you'll hear us talk about is the D20, or icosahedron, if you're feeling very nerdy, 20-sided dice.
It was just a nod from the audience. Yeah, icosahedron.
That's right.
Higher numbers are better, lower numbers are worse. In general terms, anything above 20 is very good, although, like I said, we are in the 93rd hour, so we're getting into quite high-level play. If you do have any questions about any mechanics, please do let us know. We do try and make it as clear as possible. Yes. So, 92 hours of backstory. Everybody pay attention.
There will be a test.
The four people on my left and right, the characters we're about to meet, were members of a rebellion which was enslaved by an imperial cult for 5 years and made to mine a mysterious ore. This ore has, as I've alluded to, time travel properties and is also very explosive when it's used in the right, or if you, depending on your opinion, the wrong way. That will come up today. So the players have mounted a war against this cult, kicked them off their land, kicked them off their planet, and indeed have decided to chase them interdimensionally to make sure that they don't enslave anybody else ever again. They've made their way all the way to the Nexus, where they've been harrying the cult and are finally about to start what seems to be the final battle. I mean, there are only 8 hours left. Seems to be the final battle with the cult's leader, who is a beholder, a floating eye monster. We'll get to him in a minute. However, they have also been promised that they can get home if they power a particular portal, which will allow them to get through to Deriland, where they come from. And that is what the crux of today's adventure is going to be, trying to power that portal. We'll jump straight into the action in just a minute, but let's meet the players and their characters. So starting on my right here, tell us your name, your character's name, your pronouns, and give us a little bit about yourself.
Okay. Hi, I'm Chloe. I use she, her pronouns, as does my character Flair, who is a fire genasi bard. So kind of magic and music, but also she has red skin, and instead of hair, she just has like fire that she is pretty forgetful about in terms of what that actually means for her surroundings. Also, Flair speaks with a fantasy New Zealand accent, which is distinct from the real-world New Zealand accent. So any differentiations are a very creative, active, and really daring, I think, choice for me.
So great.
And also, one really brief PSA today is just that I didn't expect to be playing this hour. Yesterday, I got an ear piercing. It often bleeds quite profusely. So if I seem to bleed from the side of my head during this hour, it's fine. I'm
That's
not in
nice.
pain, and I'll get it sorted.
It's actually an elaborate special
Your
effect.
mind makes it real.
I'm not. Yeah, just so that no one worries about me.
Which side is it?
It's your side.
All right, Chaz.
Hey, I'm Chaz. I use he/him pronouns, as does my character Kidmat John, who is a Furbolg paladin. Furbolg meaning that he is 7 foot tall, blue skin, and he's a cow person. He's got bovine type features. He speaks with a 100% accurate Minnesotan accent. And any deviation from that is my failure as a player performer.
Yeah, it's really important theatre.
And what else could I say about Kidmat? Oh, his friendly demeanor hides an insatiable bloodlust.
There we are.
I just love killing.
It's not going to be a good hour for you.
No.
I love killing puzzles.
I love killing puzzles.
Oh boy. Hi, I'm Jamie. I'm a he/him, and so is my character Barksby, who is a Furbolg druid. Furbolg being like a 7-8 foot blue cow person thingy, like he says. And druids being nature based. So I've got a big fungus for an arm. I've got a big fascination with mushrooms and plants, and been called king of plants and king of lizards and king of cows at one point. Yeah.
Well, it's because you keep turning into a T-Rex. That's why
true.
it's King of Lizards. That's...
What I'm saying is I'm not really set on a form yet. I'm still playing the field.
And Carlos.
Hi, I'm Carlos. I use he/him, and so does my character, a rogue elf called Celeste. They like being high, and that's about all I have because I wasn't sure what I was playing today.
You've got a spelling there?
I assume Celeste is
C-E-L...
C-E-L-E-S-T. Yeah.
Fantastic. Okay. Cool. So let's get to it. So where we immediately left off, the players were trying to help an ally they have called Copper. God, this is an ally they have called Copper, which, for your heads, looks like a little girl in a very large suit of plate armor. Essentially. And Copper has been channeling the spirits within this armor to stop time and help them commune with the crystal in order to open the portal. Just as the ritual, this magic spell, is completed, the wall erupts of this massive hall. Clockwork flying everywhere, for that is what the Nexus is mostly made out of, is mechanical clockwork. And the beholder, Chargax, that I mentioned earlier, flies in laughing. Behind him, an incredibly large tank-like affair, which has been constructed, it seems, especially to strip mine ore from the ground. As we pick up, our players watch in fascination as their allies all sprint towards the tank and then slow and stop as Copper's spell is completed. And for those maximum 16, minimum of 4 of you who are affected by the spell, time seems to slow down and stop as you watch.
Oh, sorry, no, I've lost these fingers.
It's okay. I've lost a whole hand.
It's not been a great time for the Furbolgs, has it?
No, I feel like we're a bit depressed in the fantasy setting wise.
It is not a banner year for the Furbolgs.
We've sacrificed much. We should get a lot of reward from this, I think.
Well, I hope so.
Yeah, me too.
Flair, the Furbolgs around you are just talking about their rewards right now.
So all I can see is that everything's slowing down.
It has stopped. It has come to a point of stop. And as you watch, Copper is still animated and is shaking slightly as they hold this spell in place. But all of your allies, the dwarf barbarians, the rogues, the sorcerers, they're all sort of mid-fight. They're beginning to attack this cult that is bursting through the wall with their tank. Copper turns to the 4 of you and goes, "So, I can't hold this for very long, so it would be really good if you all went into the crystal now. And also, we can't interact with anyone. I've sort of taken us sideways, kind of, in time, if you see what I mean."
Okay. Well, I guess we better go commune with the crystal then. That's a sentence I never thought I had to say.
Yeah, me neither.
So we
Ahead of you is... Sorry, Chloe. Ahead of you is this massive wall-sized chunk of crystal, which suddenly seems the edge of it almost malleable. Before, it was solid gem that made an entire wall that runs through the very center of the nexus. But now, as you look, it looks almost like concave. It looks like you could step into it if you wanted.
I think we should step into it.
That's a very good idea.
Too much talking.
Yeah, so
I'm
going
Celeste's going for it!
Celeste.
Yeah.
Go on, Flair.
Well, if Celeste is going, then I'm good. I just didn't want to go in with two furbolgs who are just going to talk furbolg stuff the entire time. But
Hey,
if
does anybody
Celeste
know
is
any
going,
good
then you know.
walking- Anybody know any good walking into crystal songs?
I feel like this isn't the time.
Okay.
Guys, one at a time, please, for Isla, please. Yeah, so Celeste, you step forward, and as you do, Wisatris, the elf druid, who is pretty much the I don't want to use the word queen, but she's very revered where you come from, the oak and bramble, the deep forests. She steps forward with you, looks to turns to you, smiles, and goes,
Lost words, this lady. Just go.
okay. Celeste, you step forward into the crystal, past the point where it should be a wall, and your vision doesn't deceive you. You do indeed step into crystal. But as you're walking, you can't see solid ground underneath you. You seem to be walking in the air. Flying in a... No, I won't. Walking through this crystal at an indeterminate point. It stretches on up and down, and you can see for miles and miles and miles. No, I won't. Can I get a wisdom saving throw for you, please? 10. There are slight whispers through your mind. You can't quite latch onto them. You can't quite hear what they're saying, but you get the feeling that there is a sentience in the air here.
Does it feel dangerous?
No, not especially. Okay. Wisatris, your lady, she sort of goes very quiet, holds her staff, and then just wanders off to the right, leaving you alone. The three of you watch all of this.
Wait, as in watching from like the outside?
From the outside, yeah. Oh no, Flair, you wanted to go
Yeah,
in
I
with-
want it. I'm following on in.
Okay, so as you step into this crystal as well, can I get a wisdom saving throw from you, please?
Okay. Super wise. That's a natural one.
You're really distracted by how obnoxious the furbolg were being outside. And
No one ever says that I'm the only Genesi in the group. And like,
true.
I don't even have anyone to talk. And
It's
yeah.
okay. It's okay.
We're just gonna come through still chatting furbolg things.
Yeah.
But as you step in, Flair, you don't feel anything. It's weird, it's strange, and you can see the crystal up and down, and it's, as you watch, almost like there are runes formed out of shards, formed out of imperfections within the crystal, but you don't hear anything. You don't feel any sentience here.
Okay, we're gonna go through chatting furbolg stuff.
They're chatting and giant. Yeah, no, I do believe we're no president.
Can I get a wisdom saving throw from you each, please?
Oh no. Critical failure.
1 as well, so you get the same sort of lack of feeling that Flair does as you walk in here. It's a crystal. I mean, it's wild that you're inside it, but it is a crystal. 19. So, ooh, there we go. Excitement.
Appreciative mama.
As you step in, Kidmat, as a person of religion, as a paladin,
Yeah, Platinum Dragon Boy.
you get the same feeling you get when you're communing with Bahamut, your god. And you feel the presence of an intelligence in here. And you hear these whispers coming through your head. and you could listen in if you so desired.
Yes, with my one remaining ear, I will. I will. Yes.
It's more of a psychic thing.
Yeah.
Inside your head, you hear, "Welcome, welcome. I have long awaited such communion. I have run through the universe for all time, and all time is nothing to me. And yet, this is the most intimate I have ever become with another intelligent creature."
Oh well, it's a pleasure to meet you. Is there a place we could talk face to face, or are you just...
So Kidmat starts talking out loud and saying this as you guys are just stood in the middle of the crystal.
Are you speaking common?
Yes, I am speaking common.
You have met me. Look around you.
Of course.
This is me.
So, hey, we kind of need some help here with a portal, and if you help us with the portal, we're gonna kill a beholder, and it's gonna be a whole thing.
Kidmat, who are you talking to?
I'm on the phone.
What's a phone?
Roll a d4.
Yeah. 3.
You take 3 points of psychic damage as your nose begins to bleed. What's a phone? What have you? What are you talking about? The crystal responds, saying, "This point in time is special. Though I have not been waiting and do not wait for anything, I'm excited to experience it. You will receive the help you require if you help cleanse me of the corruption that the cult's god have left in me."
I think that sounds like a fair
Stop
deal.
laughing, Jamie.
I'm sorry, it's covered my mouth there.
I think that sounds like a fair deal. Where do I start? And does it involve killing?
It involves destruction of a kind.
Ah, great.
What are you promising, Kidmat?
Okay, so we're going to cleanse the crystal, and then the crystal's going to help us with the beastie with the many eyes outside.
Pull a sword. Start.
Yep.
Okay. Step forward, Kidmat. Kidmat steps forward and sort of disappears to the rest of the three of you.
Oh.
Right. Do we follow?
What do you
Step
think?
behind.
Yep, you step behind it, Celeste steps behind, and he disappears as well.
Okay. And takes a step forward.
Flair's gone. You're alone, Buxby.
These people are very weird.
Oh,
Well, I
man.
guess we have to follow them now. Yeah, it's going to be dangerous. All right, I'm done arguing. Walk through.
Wow, it's been a while since I played with Buxby. He's really lost it, right?
To clarify, he can talk to plants. His entire hand is a plant, so he talks to it.
Right. Sure.
So he has lost it.
In a very druid way, so I've not lost it at all.
Right. You step forward, and what happens as each of you steps forward is you are... It's as easy as just stepping into another room. You find yourself in another section of the crystal, another place in the nexus. Up and down, the crystal still stretches for impossible distances, but your surroundings have distinctly changed, and in front of you there is a light pouring out of, coming in through the side of the wall of the crystal and trying to get to an imperfection, a shard in the crystal. But there is a piece of corruption in the way, piece that you recognize as the ore. It's grey and almost mundane, but you know better than that. Having spent so much time with this ore, you know that this is not mundane, it's very dangerous. Pieces of the ore lie around in front of you on the floor, little rocks that you're reminded of the ore grenades that you had made at the beginning of
Not
your
a terrible
adventure.
tactic in the early days.
No, it wasn't, until you blew up a town.
People died.
A lot's happened, guys.
There's been one constant, old Kidman. Since hour one, baby.
Sure. So this light is pouring in, and the corruption is in the way. And you notice another piece of corruption off to the left, to a 45-degree angle of it, a shard of crystal glowing with a certain light that you've become accustomed to, the light that lights the entirety of the Nexus. It's pulsing slightly, as if it wants to get brighter, but can't quite muster the energy.
Okay, what's the safest way to get rid of this corruption, Crystal?
Don't cast any magic.
Oh, great.
Probably should avoid that. I don't really know, because most of what I do tends to be magic. and I'm not that smart, guys. I'm really sorry.
I'll ask the Crystal.
Roll a wisdom saving throw. See if you can recommune with those whispers.
Nope.
Nope. You're in a different place now. You can't seem to catch back on.
Damn, I lost it. Signal in here is terrible.
Celeste, would you like to try as the person who got closest before?
Sure. Ooh, that's not bad. That is 17.
17. Yes, so you do hear the voice in your head, and it feels like you could tune into it if you wanted to.
Hello?
It's me. I don't know what it is with me today. I'm just doing these song lyrics.
Oh!
Sorry, Chaz.
Julio.
Is it hack comedy? Is it bad? Yeah, okay.
Hi.
I was saying to Kid Matt earlier that destruction has its place.
You want us to blow some of this up?
The light must reach.
The light must reach. You were talking to a voice before?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So it's not me.
How was the crystal? How was the crystal? Did it say anything about me?
I'll put in a good word, I guess.
All right.
So yeah, light to the darkness. Is that what we're looking for?
The light must reach me, and the corruption blocks it. But the lesson here is simpler than that. The corruption is not evil. It has its uses.
So the crystal voice is telling me that corruption has its... corruption has its place. It has its uses.
Uh-huh.
We need to get the light to reach someone. The voice, I guess.
Yep.
And so does it mean that we use the corruption to do that? Like the bits on the floor?
I am open to ideas, guys.
Flair just starts, because you said there were bits on the floor, right?
Yep.
She starts just picking up random bits in her hands, and then she doesn't really know what to do with them, but she just kind of starts like holding them higher, holding them lower, to the sides,
Like a
going over
dowsing
here,
rod.
seeing first off if like anything weirdly happens just by lifting them up and waving them around.
Roll a perception check.
Okay. That is a 10.
Nope.
Okay.
Leo, when you say the corruption blocks the light, is it rebounding off the corruption, or is it just being absorbed into
It's being absorbed into the corruption, yeah.
Well, I started mining. Thought it was going to end with mining.
Okay. So you...
I just want to pop that thing out.
Okay, so you raise your greatsword
Yeah.
and try and lever it behind the ukulele. Roll an attack roll for me.
19.
19. The ore begins to scrape away. And as it does, you can see pieces of the light begin to come through it.
Come on, you bastard.
That seems to be working. I'll grab my sword on the other side and push as well.
Okay, you roll an attack roll as well.
Ooh, natural 20.
Despite never having been in the mines at the beginning, Celeste...
Yeah, beginner's luck.
I'm just building on your successes.
Oh, okay.
Celeste walks over and just cuts up the seam, probably using his eyes a little better than Kid Matt was. Cuts up the seam of the ore, and a huge chunk of it comes away. The light that pours through then rebounds off of the first shard and tries to get back the other way, but is blocked by the rest of the corruptive ore. Do the two of you want to help?
I think first thing I do is sheepishly put the ore back on the floor.
Okay.
Because it seems like maybe that's
Just
not the
everyone
plan.
turns around.
I was trying.
It was a great idea, and I love your energy.
Thanks.
Now, how big is this imperfection?
How big is the imperfection?
Anything from the trolley?
Yeah, can someone close the windows backstage? Thank you, Nemo. How big is the imperfection? The imperfection is probably about, the first one anyway, is probably about 4 or 5 feet tall, long. It'll take quite a bit of mining to do. And then there is another one, you remember I described, above you, out of reach of your weapons, which blocks where the light is trying to go to, trying to
The one
bounce
above,
into.
how big is that?
That one's probably about 3 to 4 feet long as well.
Okay, cool. And it is ore, so it's stone.
It is ore, yeah, it's stone.
Okay, can I stone shape it?
Ooh, okay.
Magic?
Magic?
What's the range?
Question mark?
What's the range on that?
That's a good question.
For anyone who doesn't know, in the past,
Oh, it's touch.
when magic is cast on the corrupted ore, it makes it liable to be highly explosive.
Yes.
I'm gonna stone shape the one that's down here, out the way.
Okay. As you bring your magic to bear, narrate how your magic appears to us.
So it is a bunch of vines that curl up and come to his fingertips like little gloves, and out of his mouth pour these sporous little bits of fungus that cling to the stone, and then with his vines becomes malleable and just moves it to one side.
Yeah, and the stone almost looks liquid as it moves across the
I
surface.
just want to unearth it.
But as you move it, it begins to fizz and glow with the same explosive energy that you're aware of, that you have been aware of before.
Don't hit
See, I know you were talking about how furbolgs are ignored and everything, but I am the only female person here, and you just totally ignored what I said about magic.
Eh?
She is right. Your most recent behaviors have been problematic.
Okay, you trying to put it down to the side? Is that what you're doing?
Like, I'm just trying to form a crack on it so it can be rolled out the way.
Right, okay. Roll a sleight of hand check.
Oh boy.
Just to see how gentle you can be as you
I'm
roll
backing
it.
away.
As you roll it out of the way. You're backing away. The two of you were right next to it because you were levering it with your swords. Yeah.
9.
9.
I would like to hold an action.
What action would you like to hold?
Throwing the elf out of the way.
You're not going to be the only Genasi in a little bit.
Roll an athletics check.
Yeah.
As
14.
Okay, as this begins to fizz and bubble and it bumps as you roll it out of the way, suddenly, Celeste, the big cow thing, Kidmat, just out
One
of...
size larger in pushing.
Yeah, I know.
Right.
Just out of instinct, shoves you out of the way. Do you try and resist the shove, or are you going to let him?
I think I was too concentrated on trying to break this. I probably didn't even notice.
Okay, so you just go tumbling to the side. Can I get an acrobatics check from you to see if you fall?
What?
It's 7.
7. Yeah, you just you side plant onto the ground. And as you land, you can feel on your shoulder the edge of a drop. And suddenly you're aware that you're not just standing on nothing, it's just the floor is so clear that you see through it. And from this angle, this angle you can suddenly see, we're in a precipice. Like,
Does Celeste relay any of that?
we'll come to that in a moment. Firstly, all happens very quickly at once. The ore explodes, and Kidmat and Barksby take 10 points of damage
That's
each.
not so bad.
It's not so bad, no. It's fine. They're high-level characters.
I
This is,
thought it was going to be a thermonuclear like we had in the village.
I would like to say that this is sort of like a Daffy Duck thing, where it's just like the sort of thing. Yeah, that's about what I expected.
Yeah, sure. And as that happens, Celeste's you hear the voice in your head go, "Be a little more careful."
Yeah, noted. Everyone, just slowly move out of the edge. The floor ends right about here.
What?
I just push my hand. It just ends.
I look really hard at the floor.
Roll a perception check.
18.
Yeah, you can now see as Celeste puts his hand over the ledge. Oh boy.
That's ridiculous. Oh no, it's right there. Wow.
Right. Okay. I don't know how much use this will be, but I feel like it's what I can contribute right now. And Fleur reaches for her metal loot.
For her metal loot.
Yeah.
Metal because, of course, her hair is on fire. Just to remind
she
everybody.
she has learned.
You're the best audience.
It's a really good fans audience.
Yeah. And she's thinking basically what she can at least do is give everyone inspiration to try and help deal with this / not fall off this.
Sure.
So let's see what mood she's in. I'm not sure what we're doing in this nexus. I really hope that this crystal voice will help us, and I hope that you'll listen to this song. I promise I'll try to make sure it doesn't go on long, but I want us to survive. I want us to make it for everyone who's counting on us now. So let's not have explosions or fallings. Let's just find a way to solve this somehow with 0 injuries and 0 harm. I can't stress that enough. I just want everyone to survive. So this is some inspiration for all of us.
Another Cloamashter song.
That is one inspiration for each of you, which is a D10.
A D10 now. D10 now. So mechanically now the players can add that to any of their attack damages, skill checks, saving throws. Yeah. So it helps them as the song fills them with confidence and new hope.
Okay, so how high is this third piece of corruption?
It's about 40 feet away.
40 feet, yeah. Who thinks they can throw me up there?
You're very heavy.
I got an idea. Turn into a giant eagle with my wild shape.
Okay, so as you watch, the fungus-armed cow person suddenly becomes winged and a giant eagle.
Okay.
All right, get me up there.
Right,
Oh, I have limited communication with animals as a fur
You
ball.
do. It roughly translates as Lego.
Okay then.
I pick him up and.
Have you got the eagle stats on you?
Yeah. Back to the.
Well, if magic doesn't work, just a bit of old elbow grease.
Because this is going to be a strength check based on the eagle's strength.
Oh boy. Oh boy. I should turn into a pterodactyl again.
You should have. As the eagle flaps to the top of
That's not bad.
Kidmat's shoulders and begins to try and lift him up.
Oh no. Take that back. 10.
But Kidmat is about 350 pounds, and the eagle just flaps in place, and
Come on, buddy, I believe in you.
you can feel.
You can add a D10. You can add a D10. Oh no!
11.
All that work, Chloe. You feel, as you say, I believe in you. You feel your heels begin to rise off of the ground. That's it.
Damn it.
I say as an eagle, you could really do with losing, like, maybe a breastplate or two.
All right.
You just get a squawk of disapproval from the eagle. You have the feeling shade was thrown. That's it.
I mean, I could just take my armor off.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yep. So, as Celeste and Flair watch, Kidmat begins to doff his armor. Oh, and Celeste's helping. He's catching the pieces of flying breastplate.
It's the first time he's taken his armor off this game, isn't he?
It is.
He has a surprising amount of whip marks on his back.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Okay.
Information.
That's not surprising considering you're in a cult mine.
Yep. He also has the brand of the cult on him. Brand, specifically.
Wait. What? And that's not something the rest of us have, is it?
No.
No.
Oh, boy.
Okay.
Is it because we're cows? Is that
Yeah, it literally is because we're cows.
I'm glad that I was in the woods, not in the mines.
Yeah.
Indeed.
What happened to the rest of the furballs? You know what I mean? Cattle.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Can I try and pick him up now?
You could try. Yeah, I'm going to let you try again. That really. Oof.
Friendly demeanor hides. Yeah.
Yeah. There was jerky. There was beef jerky.
Friendly
Oh,
demeanor
yeah.
Um, hides an insatiable bloodlust.
14.
14. Okay, it's much easier now without
Yeah.
the armor. He's under 300 pounds somewhere, and you begin to lift him up towards the ore above you very quickly. Kidmat, what are you intending to do? Just smack it?
No, I was going to gently, lever it out of the precipice and ride the bad boy down.
Okay. Sure.
Unless
sure.
anyone... Listen, if anybody knows Featherfall, now's the time to bring it up.
Roberta does, but she's not here.
He's not here. In that case, I'm just gonna... let's just work out what I've got here. Very quickly.
I have something that would potentially help, but Flair doesn't want to use magic because obvious reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Magic is what primes the explosivity of the ore.
Well, in that case... Am I the only person who knows Revivify?
Yes.
I can reincarnate you.
Cool.
I can help you to feign death.
Then you wouldn't be a cow person anymore.
That's true. All right, let's just go on.
Feign death.
Come on, guys, we're so close.
Okay, roll your attack roll then to try and get in underneath this thing.
Natural 20.
Natural 20. Yeah. So having been shown up by Celeste earlier, this
Show me
time
up. I was mining for 5 years.
this time you slip your great sword
No, a
in.
real miner mines.
You slip your great sword in under the seam and manage to lever at least half of the ore to just collapse below, and it just begins to fall immediately.
Oh yeah, so that half goes and I step to the other half.
Okay, roll again.
That is a... That's not as good this time. That is a... I'm just trying to do maths. 14.
Excuse me, thank you. Yes, so it's ore. It's not going anywhere, but you don't do it's not as satisfying as before. You
I
just
know.
chip away at the ore on the other side, and if this is the plan, eventually it is all gonna go.
I'm just making sure I'm just not in the equivalent of a splash zone.
I
Yeah,
mean,
absolutely.
technically the eagle could catch me.
I thought I was still holding on to you.
Yeah, as far as I'm aware, he's still.
Oh, that's
holding
great.
on
It just
to
falls
you.
away with the eagle
Actually,
holding on to
yeah,
me. Well, that's
exactly.
even
That's
better.
fine. If you dig in, then the eagle just stops, and we'll just use the whole weight to lever it down.
Yeah. Okay. And indeed, Celeste and Flair, I presume you're getting out of the way as it drops to the ground.
Yes.
And this floor, now that you couldn't see, is covered in pieces of rock and ore and detritus. And go on.
I would like to pick up a piece.
Yeah.
I'm going to walk gingerly to where the edge seems to be. And
Okay.
I want to drop it. I want to see how far the fall is.
Okay. As you watch, can I get a perception check quickly?
That is 12.
12. As you watch, it's not a straight drop. It goes maybe 40 feet down that way and then bounces off of something, presumably
Okay.
crystal or glass, and then bounces here again, and it skitters down rather than just drops. But
Okay.
it goes for some way,
Good to know.
several hundred feet, before it rests on another floor.
Okay.
Yep, sure. And Eventually, Barksby brings Kidmat back down again, and the light that was pouring in through the side wall reflects off of the first crystal, bounces it into the second one, and the second one glows even brighter and more intensely with this addition.
There's one more piece of corruption left, isn't there?
No, that was it.
That was it.
That was
Excellent.
it. Yeah.
Okay, where's my armor?
Are you okay,
Celeste had
Kidmet?
your armor.
Yeah?
Are you in any pain?
Every day. Now, can I get my armor?
Wow, you got a double reaction to that one.
Yeah, just help me.
Are you going to
Plate,
help him?
right? Yeah,
John,
it's
his
plate,
arm?
so I'll have to help
Like,
him.
I don't know if to laugh for the comedic timing or be sad because of this.
Such is the mystery of Kidman.
I won't.
Yeah. I can do about that.
Yeah.
Celeste, you were the one talking to the
Correct.
crystal in this area. As you finish, the crystal says, "Destruction clears the path for greater creations. It has its place in the cycle. Without destruction, creation would have no space."
I'm not so sure, but I think it wants us to set all of this off.
What?
That feels like a bad idea, because it's now the floor.
Can I
keeps
tune into
talking
the crystal?
about-
I want to hear this. I don't believe this.
He keeps
I'm
talking
really
about
nervous
destruction
about that.
clearing the path. That's all I know.
Do you want to try and hear it
I
again?
want to try and tune into the
Can
crystal.
Yeah,
I-
roll wisdom
can I
saving
have a
throws. Yeah,
go?
absolutely. I was waiting for you to ask.
Different D20.
26.
Okay.
What was the check again?
Wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom saving 3.
3. No, sorry, Flair. You feel like you hear maybe a whisper, but then it's gone. There's a crackle, and
Yeah.
oh, maybe it was your hair, actually.
General static of embers. And
Cheers, Chaz.
The number you have called, isn't it?
26. So, yeah.
Yes, Barksby, you do indeed tune in to the voice, and you are able to talk to it if you wish. Oh, you're an eagle.
Wait, do I talk?
He's still an eagle, everyone.
Which means that your intelligence is currently 6.
No, as a wild shape, I keep my own.
Oh,
Yeah.
good.
Do I talk? Do I talk with it with my head or my mouth?
With your head.
Okay.
Thank God. Really glad I established that.
Wait. What do you mean destruction? Oh, hello.
Hello, Barksby.
You've got a really nice voice.
Thank you.
Do you come here often?
I am here.
Oh, is that the crystal? Is it saying nice things about me? Did I do a good job?
No, what you hear is a squawking.
yeah, we just see him eagling.
Barksby's making an awful racket. What was I going to say? You have long fought against the corruption that changes me, dulls my edge. But without it, how would we know what the light is? Destruction clears the path for more creation.
This is true. I mean, things die, things grow, such is life. It's kind of meaningless, really, if you think about it too long.
To move on, we must destroy what is there and old.
Wait, do you want us to detonate this stuff?
No response.
Hello? Will you be hurt if we detonate this stuff?
I'm open to ideas from you guys.
We are communing
No,
with
genuinely.
the audience.
All right, so
I
we've
cast
got
commune with
Ask the Audience. You should all have buzzers under your chairs with A, B, C, and D on them.
I, as Flair, I would like to take a few more pieces of ore, and I'm just going to go to what seem to be different edges, just to see if there's anywhere that it's possible to just, like...
Roll an investigation check.
I'm good at investigating stuff. I legitimately am.
You say?
It's fine. I rolled a 15.
Okay.
4 of that was my actual dice roll.
Yeah, you've been rolling terribly. Yeah, so you
Maybe
begin
swap
to...
dice.
I have.
You pick up this just a handful of the ore, and you start scattering it around, trying to find the edges, and you do eventually piece out the plateau that you're on, but it is a plateau, and it's like just a pillar of crystal, a shard within the crystal that has sheer drops all around it.
Okay, good to know.
So I'm guessing the place where we stepped in isn't there anymore.
No.
Yeah. Just to make sure.
Yep.
Right.
And you can't see a way off of this pillar.
I'm just going to do a wisdom save to see if I can
Yeah, sure.
tune back in. It's going to make everything simpler. 12?
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah, you can.
Cool. Just for future reference.
12 is the DC, so you just managed to tune back in. Yeah. I'm gonna have to hurry you for a decision, guys.
I haven't been able to speak to this crystal, but if you're all saying that there's like a whole thing about destruction and stuff, then I don't see how else we get away from here. And like there was that thing about the destruction or the ore having the corruption having its use, and I guess that's the only use we've really found for it. So I mean, if anyone's got any better ideas, really.
Well, you can channel magic through it as well, right? Because people have been using it to power portals.
When it's purified, yes. And that's what you're trying to do to this whole crystal, is purify
the crystal. Okay.
So that you can power a portal outside to go back home.
So we kind of need to get rid of this.
Yeah.
Can I try and talk to the crystal again really quickly?
Yep.
Crystal, are you there?
Yes.
Right. In our world, we have trees
Yes.
that purify you.
I am aware.
I have some saplings. Can you make them grow and accelerate time? You have weird timey-wimey shit.
The necessary nutrients do not exist here.
I have a whole bag of compost.
Sure. Okay. Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and try and stand in the middle of all of this detritus.
Okay.
And because I've got...
As you bring out your bag of compost and begin to turn it up, Kid Matt's doing something.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
I don't know how to get rid of this corruption. I'm going to cast Remove Curse and see what that does.
Okay, sure. So you cast this. Please narrate to the audience how your magic works. Because it is fun.
Okay, so when Kid Matt uses his magic, his ears glow. It's like when you put your ear in sunlight and you can see the cartilage. It's that sort of guy. But he's only got one ear now as a result of previous battles. So there's one glowing ear, and then there's just sort of like golden magic coming out of a hole in the side of his head. But it's not constant. It's like a lawnmower starting up. So it's like and then he exhales through his big cow nose, and this golden dust comes out.
And as the golden dust touches the ore, each piece begins to fizz, as you're aware, and it is primed for explosive properties.
Do I have time to do anything else?
Yeah, very, very, very quickly.
Very, very quickly. Let's just burn a second level Cure Wounds before this starts.
Okay, you do that on your own. What are you doing, Marksby?
I am.
As you watch Kidmet prime the ore for explosion.
Oh boy. Empty out my compost. I'm a furbog again.
Okay, you
Yeah.
change back from an eagle. And
Otherwise, I won't have my compost.
12.
what you do, roll a sleight of hand check.
That's good.
I'm just emptying compost onto the
Onto primed
No,
he's
just
now-
onto the ground.
The ground
It's
is covered in
the
this ore.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, that's...
Oh no!
Yeah.
Oh no! It's nice knowing you guys. That's a 5.
A 5. So as you've primed the ore and you begin to cure yourself, Barksby just tips this bag of dirt onto the ground. And there's slight pieces of rocks and maybe a couple of bulbs in there, and something happens. You never get to quite see what happens, and there's a terrific explosion and a very bright light. And then you come back to consciousness, and the party is somewhere else within the crystal. And that is where we're going to have to leave this hour of Adventurers Wanted. Really sorry. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Do I get my compost back?
If you did enjoy the show, please do spread the word about it on social media. We are here until last doors today, 1:30, and then 10:30 to 1:30 tomorrow as well, on each hour, that is. So the show ends at 2:30. On Facebook, Instagram, and Twitch, we're Adventurers Wanted. On Twitter, we're at Adventurers250. If you can't make your way back here and you really want to see how it ends, Naomi and Nemo are live tweeting the entire thing, and we're recording it all on Twitch, so you can catch up and finally see how it ends in your own time, or as you go around your lives in Edinburgh. We also have a Patreon page and a donate button on our website, so if you're out there enjoying us on the interwebs and you would like to support us, please do make your way over there. We do this every month in London, as well as free play events that bring Dungeons & Dragons as a hobby to a wider, more inclusive audience. Just before we say our goodbyes, I'm going to throw over to our players to give them an opportunity to quickly plug anything that they're involved in their lives. Go on, Chaz.
Yes, so I'm running off now to go do a play, Pleasance Dome. It's a very, very fun play. It's called Courtroom Play, a courtroom play. It's really funny, really charming. It's sort of like Legally Blonde meets Hot Fuzz.
I saw it yesterday. It's really
the tone
silly.
you're going for. And that's at 12:25 at the Pleasance Dome. And it's even running on Monday the 27th. So you've got an extra day to see that. However, I'm also in a sketch comedy double act. We're called Dirty White Boys. Our show's called Manners. It's a very silly, very, very dumb sketch show. I think you'll enjoy it. And it's on at 10:10 p.m. At Just the Tonic at the Caves. And it's a pay what you want show, which means it's free to get in. And we've got a show today and a show on Sunday, and then we're done.
And that's it. Great. Chloe?
I'm not working on anything else up at the Fringe, but I would recommend Tom Walker's Honk, 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 Honk as an amazingly wonderful, geeky comedy show. The other show I would recommend is, I believe, Sold Out. But if anyone is based in London and goes back there at some point, John Luke Roberts' All I Want to Do Is Sound Effects and Sound Effects and Sound Effects and Perform Some Comedy is an amazing show. So, yeah.
Jamie.
Excellent. Hi. I'm an Edinburgh resident for the rest of the year, but I will recommend The Dark Room, which is a live text adventure-based game, which sounds boring, but it's amazing. And it's by John Robertson.
Yeah.
Yes, lovely man. And his second show is Sexy Sweaty Party at the Tron at 10:20. It is a riot. It's great.
Carlos.
I have nothing. But
Fantastic. Well, we really enjoyed having you here.
it was a pleasure. Thank you for.
If you're looking for alternative things to nerdily do in August, you're wearing a Nine Worlds shirt,
Yes.
which is an excellent fest down in London.
Come join us in the Novotel. It's a hell of a fun.
Brilliant. So the last thing I'd like to say is please show your appreciation for our incredible BSL interpreter, Isla. Hooray! And your appreciation for our wonderful players who put up with my time-bending nonsense. Thank you very much, guys. Hope to see you again. Thank you.